Jim, I get these messages from you. We need a push on pneumatic. We need all we can get. Tell me about those struggles.
You know, kind of the same story when COVID happened and everything shuttered. All these truckers went home. Businesses closed. The amount of freight that was available to run just wasn't there. So you have an aging workforce, truckers, and you know, just as a whole in North America, not just U.S., from Canada, Mexico, and so COVID forced a lot of these guys out of the business. You have you're not seeing the replenishment of drivers to the industry right now. Much less, you're not really seeing that big push for drivers joining the oil and gas space, which traditionally pays substantially higher rates. The reality is more people are choosing, they want to be local, they want to be home every night, and in our space, these guys work 30 to 60 days straight. They're not going home, right? These wells last 17 to 21 days. The one in Ohio has been going for 60 days straight, nonstop working every day, and there's guys from South Texas up there trying to finish that job out. And you're like, all right, you know, they're making a lot of money, yeah, but they've also been away from home for 60 days, 2 months. And so you're seeing the kind of the younger generation of truckers come through and opting to take to cheaper freight, not wanting to really get away from their home and lifestyle. And so that's been the struggle, and see what happens eventually. And you're seeing that play out now, where the demand for oil and gas worldwide and globally is so substantial. U.S. is falling behind a little bit on its ability to provide those energy demands. And so truckers being a big part of that. And it's not just in the fracking side. We're talking about in water and guar and all types of chemicals that are delivered. There's fewer and fewer of these truckers that are wanting to do this job, even if the money allows them to make $300,000-$400,000 a year net income. These guys are just opting to stay home. So eventually what happens though is when you see this cycle over a period of time, the rates start going up. And to attract people to the industry again, they're gonna have to raise rates up substantially to make it worth leaving home for periods of time that they're requesting to service these wells that are needed to, I mean, everything in this shop here is made with oil and gas, everything. We don't realize, you know, how much petroleum we use on a daily basis, but it's a supply and demand issue, ebbs and flows. But you know, kind of what Dapper was saying earlier is, I think discretionary income as well is playing into it. I think a lot of folks are looking at their, you know, their inflation, their cost of goods, the cost of food, rent, cars, everything is going, you know, substantially higher to a point that folks can't, they're starting to pinch a little bit around the edges, like, hey, I used to get a haircut every 2-3 weeks. Maybe I go every 2 months now, or instead of keeping this cool chic Euro look, maybe I just shave it all off and it's easier to maintain. I think you're seeing more decisions like that where people are cutting out their discretionary spending out of necessity perhaps. I know we've done inflation raises and it still doesn't feel like enough, where we've matched our raises to our staff based on year-over-year inflation, but when you're raising your costs inside your four walls, and at the same time you're taking a 30% decrease from your customer, and all the other ancillary costs to run a business are going up, you know, electricity to just basic goods and services, everyone's raising their rates. It's getting harder and harder to be a business owner as your margins are taking a pounding, and or you supplement your services by decreasing what you're giving to try to curb costs that way. You're seeing it from, you know, products, customer service, various companies. I think one of you guys said y'all were at a retail outlet today and there's only 3 workers there. We're running a department store that was probably 40,000 square feet. And it's just like, you know, that's where we're trending. Companies are doing what they can to stay afloat, but the reality is you know, month over month inflation it's real. It's had an impact for 2 years. Doesn't really seem to be slowing down, and folks are going to modify their spending habits to do so.
Well, it seems like What I love about the American spirit and just the entrepreneurial spirit is until you're faced with certain situations, you don't start thinking on how to fix them.